I'm Winnie Awino Ongoje. I've been blind for the last 7 years. I lost sight in 2010, November 16th. I woke up and found myself blind. To be a person with disability in our society and community, they take it as maybe it was a curse or you did something wrong. But normally it's just a normal thing. It's just the eyes that can't see, but the mind is okay. Everything I can do for myself. And people with visual impaired have gone to school just like the rest of the people. They've been to universities and colleges. They've been skilled and very competent. We can still work and produce a lot towards our economy and nation building. Okay, my biggest challenge is mobility. People with visual impaired, we face a lot of challenges in mobility. For example, when you are late from the matatu and you don't get someone to cross you over the road or to show you another point where you're going, it's very hard. So the only option is just to stay there and wait for someone or call out to people, of which some people don't come, or they just ignore and pass. Most of the time people are in rush. The cars and also the road is very busy. So when you're trying to cross and there's an oncoming vehicle is coming very fast, they don't respond to your white cane. I don't know whether they realize that you're blind or not. They don't give you chances to cross the road. So that's how you become late and you have to wait for someone still to cross you over. So in some working places or organizations, there are some bosses who understand about visual impairment, and there are some who do not understand. They believe that you have to be on time. Of course, you have to be on time like the others, but they have to understand that there are some challenges that you can't overcome on your own. In banking services, I still have to have a guide, of which when I don't have a guide, the soldiers or any staff of that institution has to help me out, like going to the ATM, because it doesn't have braille format. I can't do it on my own. It doesn't have a software of talking back to me, so I have to be helped. And also when you're entering your PIN, it's dangerous.
My name is James Francis. I am deaf. I've been deaf for the last 24 years. One of the problems that I go through every day is communication. For example, part from everyday communication challenge, the problem comes when I get sick. It's very difficult to communicate with the doctor. There are possibility that the doctor can misdiagnose and give the wrong prescription. Some time back, I went to the hospital. At the waiting area, I was delayed a lot because I could not hear my name being called. When I got in the doctor's room, I told the doctors that I didn't have appetite. But the doctor insisted that I had malaria.
James Francis? James? Okay. Let's move on. Damaris. James Francis?
James.
Where is he? You James? James? Okay. Mr. James, what brings you to hospital today? Or you can't hear? Okay. So what is the problem? Why are you here? Why are you here? You have a problem? Are you having trouble eating? You can't eat? Okay. Do you have trouble? Are you having fever? Fever? Okay. Do you have problems in your chest? Chest. Okay. What about your stomach? You're having problem with stomach? Okay. Are you having pain in your leg, maybe at the bottom? Okay. What about headache? Are you having a headache? No. So James, based on your symptoms, your malaria symptoms, what I'm going to do is I'm going to prescribe for you some malaria tablets. I'm going to prescribe for you some painkillers. Okay. And then you said you don't have appetite, so I think I'll give you some appetizer to help you to build your appetite. Okay. So you take this, go to the pharmacy, get your drugs, come back in 3 days in case you're not feeling any better, and then we will see how to deal with it from there. So you can go get your drugs now. Thank you.
It is important for any organization to be inclusive. The reason being, millions of Kenyans have a disability. With this in mind, millions of those Kenyans might be potential customers for your business. Your organization is going to be seen as the go-to organization for persons with disabilities. Persons with disabilities will have word out there that a certain organization has ramps, has accessible lifts for persons with disabilities. For example, Kenyatta University is one of such an organization or an institution that boasts of big numbers of students with disabilities. They admit thousands of students with visual impairment per year just because their facilities are inclusive. Being an inclusive institution does not just benefit persons with disabilities, but the institution as well. It ensures eligibility for tax exemption for taxable income. The Constitution of Kenya, it requires for persons with disabilities to be treated with dignity and fair treatment in the workplace, and also the Disability Act 2003 that requires that employers employ at least 5% of persons with disabilities in their staff. The Disability Act 2003 also requires credit facilities for persons with disabilities. Institutions that are inclusive are eligible for tax exemptions based on compliance with the law. Some of your staff can be taught sign language so that they can communicate with persons with hearing impairment. Another way of making your institutions more accessible is ensuring that your premises are accessible for persons with disability. We have ramps, we have lifts, and we have probably counters that are friendly to persons with short stature. Another way, employing persons with disabilities. Employing persons with disabilities will ensure that if, for example, I have a visual impairment and I get a client who has visual impairment, I will be able to understand what are their needs. I will also be able to train the rest of the organizations on the needs and wants for persons with disabilities. Okay. Disability is something we interact with each and every single day. Remember that we are all candidates for disability. Let's all work together to ensure that the lives of persons with disabilities are improving every day.